All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is April 14th, 2026. My name is Coach Carignan. Thank you all for being here. Let's take a peek what happened in the market today, see how I captured 3K. And let's take a look at everything that happened in the market. Congrats, Steve. Steve made his goal. Looks like made his goal and a little bit more. So congrats to Steve. Let's take a peek at the market. All right, let's move this out of the way. Let's just move all of this down and over and take this off and look at the 10-minute chart. You got the sticks and the 3 riding up on top of the 8. 10-minute, I'm going to call it consolidation. It's 10-minute uptrend coming into the close, or a 10-minute bullish consolidation, either one. 2-hour chart, you can see we got the sticks and the 3 riding up on top of the 8. We've got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Daily candle. All right, we've got a higher low and a higher high closing over a bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. SPY has made a higher high, is bullish, and in an uptrend on SPY. Okay, weekly chart is still in a downtrend on the weekly chart. It's the origin of our move. We move up. We made a low here. We made lower lows. Still got to take out that all-time high. Weekly chart still in a dysfunctional downtrend. Bullish, but in a dysfunctional downtrend. Monthly chart, price action is still in an uptrend, bullish and still in an uptrend. We're up here in quadrant 4. We have not made any lower lows on the monthly chart. Let me just move this out of the way. Well, no, not yet. Oh, why not? Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. Okay, so QQQ, let's start with 10-minute chart. 10-minute uptrend, you got the sticks and the 3 riding up on top of the 8. You've got the 8 separating from rising VWAP right here. This is the picture of easy money. This is the picture of money. If you don't know what money looks like, this is a picture of it, okay? You get the 8 EMA rising up, and over, making the distance between the VWAP and the 8 EMA larger and larger as time goes on. Okay, so all the way into the close, nice strong close for QQQ and SPY. 10-minute chart, uptrend. 2-hour chart, you got the sticks and the 3 riding up on top of the 8 EMA right here. We've got daylight between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA. We've got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close on the daily candle. I'm going to back out. This is the origin of the move back here in April, up and over. We are bullish because we're up at the top of quadrant 4. There's some highs. We made higher highs, and in an uptrend, we are back over the uptrend line. We're over the all-time high anchored VWAP there. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart is still in a dysfunctional downtrend in that price is bullish up here, but you can see we got a low here. We made a lower low. Until we take out this high, we're going to be in a dysfunctional downtrend, and I call it dysfunctional because it's not moving down. It's actually melting up or moving to the right. So there's QQQ on the weekly chart. Monthly chart back here, the origin of the move, April. Up and over to the right. Price action, quadrant 4, that's bullish up there. And we're at top of quadrant 4. We have not made a lower low, so we're still in an uptrend there on QQQ. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU on the daily candle. I'm going to move things around just a little bit. All right, so daily candle right here. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, closing, got a high here, we made a higher high, so we're now in an uptrend on FNGU, closing right on top of the all-time high anchored VWAP. That would be the pink line right here. Price action is not in the lower third, not in the upper third, so that's going to be bullish. No, excuse me. That's going to be neutral. All right, this is the all-time low. That's the all-time high. We're right in the middle between the two of them. So that is that's going to be neutral. And we're now in an uptrend on FNGU on the daily chart. Okay, so nice move, closing up over the midpoint right here. Hopefully they can keep it. We'll see. That's FNGU daily candle. Let's take a look at IWM. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. We got a high here. They're making higher highs. So that's bullish and in an uptrend. Diamond Dow. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17 EMA, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Still in a dysfunctional downtrend till they take out this high right here. So we're bullish. Dysfunctional downtrend for Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at silver. Silver, I sold off my position on silver. Higher low, higher high, closed over a bullish trap, closed under all-time high anchored VWAP. We're in an uptrend because we're making higher highs. Here's a high. We made a higher high, and then we went again and made another higher high. So silver is neutral and in an uptrend. You can see it right here underneath that all-time high anchored VWAP. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, sold off my position in gold today. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the hooking 17 EMA, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Bottom of quadrant 4, that's bullish. And we're in an uptrend because we're making higher highs. That's gold. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG, lower high, lower low. Never fails to disappoint us. Closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the falling 17, underneath the 12-month high anchored VWAP. Bottom of quadrant 1, that's bearish. There's a low, making a lower low. That's bearish and in a downtrend for UNG. Let's take a look at USO. Lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, closing on top of the 17 EMA, closing over the 4-month high anchored VWAP. Actually bottom of quadrant 4, that's bullish. They have not made lower lows, so they're still in an uptrend on USO. We look at the technicals, T2101, and we drift up a little bit higher. This is participation market breadth. You can see price action, well, you can see market breadth increasing as price moves higher. That is a bullish sign. I like it. Let's take a look at T2122. We camped out in the overbought zone. That is a bullish sign. I like it. All right, T2123. All right, we have a bullish gap up, not filled by the bears. We moved up, held the higher ground. We've got a high here. We're making higher highs. That's in an uptrend. You're over the hooking 200 SMA or above it. So that's where you'd want to be if you're a bull, is up over that. Let's take the quad lines and stick them in there. Remember, this is the all-time high. Okay. So we're kind of neutral and in an uptrend if we go from there. If we go from the pullback low, we're bullish and in an uptrend, depending upon what your perspective is right now. Right here, neutral and in an uptrend. Right here from the pullback low. All right, right here on the pullback low. This is bullish and in an uptrend. That's the quad lines with you. All right, let's take a look at T2123 3-bar chart. Take this off. Zoom way out. Here is our April low. We rally up and make a new all-time high for the year of 2025. have a pullback, rip, and make another new all-time high for the year of 2026. We're up here in the middle of quadrant 4. That's bullish. We're climbing on top of that rising 200 SMA. That's going to be bullish if we can get up there. Currently, we got a low, got lower lows, so we're in a downtrend. We're in a dysfunctional downtrend. Okay, because price is not moving down, it's actually melting up. So middle of quadrant 4, dysfunctional downtrend for T2123. FNGU, bullish gap up, not filled by the bears. Bulls are in control. I like it. You're up over the pink line. That's the all-time high anchored VWAP. The red line, which is 200 SMA. All right, and we're making highs and higher highs. So that's in an uptrend. And let's just see how this fans out with quad lines. All right, so that's as many as I could get. They're bullish based on the pullback low. Only based on the pullback low. It is bullish because it's in the upper third and in an uptrend on FNGU. Any questions for today? All right. Trade calls most of the day. Made money trading calls. What were my instructions this morning? Let's look at the instructions for this morning. Okay. I plan to trade the continuation of the current pre-market 10-minute uptrend. All right, let's just move this out of the way and go see that. Okay, push this over. Let's get the market up here with the uptrend. All right, and we want SPY. And we want 10-minute, right? All right, so right here, this would be the pre-market. You can see right here we got the 3 and the sticks riding up on top of the 8. All 3 of them riding over VWAP right there. So that's the current pre-market 10-minute uptrend. I wanted to trade a continuation of that uptrend. So I bought calls right there. And you can see this is, like I said, the picture of money. Whenever you see this 8 EMA and the VWAP line, this is going up and this is going up. And the distance between them gets greater and greater and greater. Lots of opportunity there to make profits, okay? You can, right over so green erases red. As soon as you see that green candle, erase the red candle, all right? Or, climb on top of it right there. That right there is a possible entry. You could take that on the 5 or on the 10-minute. Same thing here, 2 red candles. Price rips up over those 2 red candles. Another green erases red event. This would be a green erases red event. Another red candle here. Price action comes up over it. There's another green erases red event. And then we have a pullback low and another green erases red, only to yield very little on that one over there. So that's SPY on the 10-minute chart. And that's what we traded right there, was that 10-minute uptrend. Look at the trend. All right, when you see that lot of daylight there in the 8, between the 3 EMA and the 8, a lot of daylight. It's not crowded with candle bodies or candle tails shooting down in there. Lots of daylight. That's a good trend. All right, now if you're looking for something more technical, all right, I use this PPO on the 10-minute chart. Like to see it up over 0.06. Okay, over 0.06 is a nice trend with momentum. Okay, that's what we traded today. So let's go take a peek at what we did here. Okay, now I still have positions in these 3. All right, still got positions in those. Okay, so here's the silver. We took profit on the silver. Okay, you can see price opened up today. I took profit as price ripped higher. All right, gold, same thing as price ripped higher. Took some profit on gold. SPY calls 6.99. Bought the calls, sold the calls right here and here, as well as here. All right, so that SPY on the 10-minute, that is on those 6.99 strike calls. 3 days till expiration. I'm selling into strength as price goes up. I sell into that strength, buy and sell into that strength. 6.92. Okay, bought the calls, sell into strength, sell into strength. Again, reload, sell into strength, reload, sell into strength, reload, sell into strength. Okay, so that's 692 calls. 700 calls, we've got right here, right out of the gate, buy some calls, and I start selling into strength immediately. Selling into strength immediately, and you can see right here, nice gains on this SPY 10-minute 700 strike call. All right, on the puts, these puts, I still have some left over, so I'm looking to get rid of those. Now these 700 calls, made $48 on those. Let's see if I can get those up. Again, bought the calls, sold into strength, bought the calls, sold into strength. The blue dots represent the buys. The red dots represent the sells. Again, bought and sold into strength right there. I'm going to take these off because I don't want this anymore. All right, and then we've got the puts. I've still got a position on the puts. I've got a position on the 707 strike. 3 DTE calls right there. All right, so that's it for me for today. Made some profits. All right, second part of the instructions. Realize I didn't go through all of it. If price dupes me, all right, in other words, if they don't have a 10-minute uptrend and they decide to break down instead, once they do the gap fill, all right, I will look to trade a 10-minute downtrend back to the pivot 680, 170, and possibly lower. Okay, but you can see right here, they never got a 10-minute downtrend going. We had a 10-minute uptrend blasting all day long. So that's it right there for me. Did the instructions, did the trades. I want to wish everybody a wonderful evening. I'll see you all tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and we do it again. Thank you, everybody.